Despite his long list of accomplishments, the mainstream media continues to bash President Trump and his administration.
Of course they do. Well, the Media Research Center tracks coverage very closely, media coverage, and reveals in a new study that 91% of major broadcast coverage of this president is negative. Well, despite the media's hostile reporting, the president's poll numbers, now look at where this comes from, look at the bottom where it's citing another news network, they are actually climbing.
If you don't understand what that means, it says his approval rating's gone up. December, it was 37%. The end of April, it was 43%. So here to weigh in on this is senior editor at The Federalist and Fox News contributor Mollie Hemingway. Hey, Mollie, good to see you.
Great to be here.
So why is his approval rating going up so drastically?
Well, I think there are a few things. For one thing, when everything is a problem, nothing's a problem. And the media have been saying really histrionic, hysterical things about Donald Trump since he was elected, since before he was elected. And it just causes people to tune out. There's no distinguishing between things that actually might be a problem and things that everyone can tell aren't. It's also true that what the media think of as negative can come off very positive. So when the media say, gosh, this guy is abnormal, he's doing things the way you're not supposed to do them, they think, they portray it as a very negative thing. But for a lot of Americans, for tens of millions of Americans who were really sick and tired of the way Washington was doing things, learning that he is not conventional, that he is abnormal, doesn't come off as negative as it is intended by many in the media.
Well, do you think also, Mollie, they can see through it? I mean, it's inside the study, 40% of the negative coverage is focused on so-called scandals and controversies, while 45% on actual policy. But if you cut taxes and repeal the individual mandate and move the embassy and joblessness is at all-time lows and you're taking on the Iran deal, you're doing the things you said you were going to do, where does all the negativity and the actual policy come from?
Right. And people are interested in scandal, but it is also kind of obvious to people that what's really happening with a lot of media coverage is just an attempt to sort of relitigate the 2016 election. They just hop from scandal to scandal, or they break news that Donald Trump has moral failings, which is something that most people with a pulse have known since the 80s. And so it's not that it doesn't matter, it's just that things that really do matter to people, like the improvement in the economy, are not covered as much as they should be. And they haven't been covered as much as they should be for many years. The struggle of the economy wasn't a story that was well told during the Obama years, even though it was deeply felt by people. And so there's a difference between what people want to hear about and what they get 24/7 on many networks and in many newspapers.
If you look at Melania's approval ratings, they're going up too. They've gone up drastically since January. But you had Jimmy Kimmel making fun of her. Then you have her, we know that she speaks 5 languages. She handles herself beautifully. She's classy. She's above board. Do you think that all the negative coverage of the president and the first lady actually helped them, and that's why their approval ratings are going up?
Yeah, I think when people see unduly harsh coverage of a first lady, and that's whether it's Melania or someone else, that tends to provoke sympathy. But it is also just fascinating to me how little coverage we get of Melania compared to how we've gotten of previous first ladies who every time they wore a good dress, it was major news. And here Melania, she's kind of pushed to the side by a lot of media coverage.
Mollie, exit question here. The president just tweeting about this negative coverage, also asking the question, should we remove press credentials? What do you think about that?
No, the thing that Donald Trump, of all people, should not want anything to change with the media coverage, because he needs a foil, and he gets it with this negative media coverage. But it is bad for the media themselves that they are so oppositional, because it makes people trust them less. Their credibility is a problem, and they need to work on it.
Sure. Backfire. Yeah. Thank you, Mollie. Great to see you.
Thanks, Mollie. Appreciate it.